Okay. It's pretty dark right now, but you can see it. You can see well enough. Use it. That requires moving shit, but no, it's okay. Um. Okay, so you read the title. Cleaning messes up, clarity and breakthroughs. I've been meaning to do a reading all day, but like, it's not the fact that I'm not in the mood. It's just that the message isn't as clear as I want it to be. It's like when you're going into a room and then you forget what you're there for, you know? So it's kind of like that. And we've been kind of taking it easy today since we've been working like nonstop throughout the whole week. Um, so anyway, before we get to these cards, and I'm actually going to use 3 decks today. Um, I don't know why, we just kind of had to use 3. So, let's go. Okay. Page 134. Husbands never become good. They merely become proficient. H.L. Mencken. Okay. A good husband should be deaf and a good wife should be blind. French proverb. And right under that is hypocrisy, deceit, lying, and ostentation. A hypocrite is a kind of politician who would cut down a redwood tree, then mount the stump and make a speech for conversation. Adlai E. Stevenson. I'm going to read the rest of these quotes and then we'll get back to it. A bad man is worse when he pretends to be a saint. Francis Bacon. Is with pious fraud as with a bad action. It begins a calamitous necessity of going on. Thomas Paine. Calamitous, okay. It is a pious fraud as a bad man. Wait. I'm sorry. Dyslexia kicked my ass. But anyway, it is with pious fraud as with a bad action. It begins a calamitous necessity of going on. It is with pious fraud as with a bad action. It begins a calamitous necessity of going on. I don't know why that's sticking out so much. Hypocrite, the man who murdered both his parents, pleaded for mercy on the grounds that he was an orphan. Abraham Lincoln. Every man alone is sincere. At the entrance of a second person, hypocrisy begins. Ralph Waldo Emerson. That's interesting. Whew. We're already starting off late. I feel like I just need to sit up straight instead of bending over. But then again, I can't really see. 1 moment. I put my glasses somewhere. So, yeah, these are my broke ass glasses, but you know, at least I can see now. I don't have to be like leaning so far forward, hurting my damn back. Sorry, it's like I think something's wrong with my other eye. I mean, that one's always caused me problems, but like, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. I really can't explain it. It's like something is different about this eye. Maybe it's the fact that it has like, you know. Ooh. Yeah, I just finished eating like earlier, so that's rough, buddy. Anyway, I'm sorry. Let's get into it. Like, so we have go for a walk and nature. Feel good and binging. Moment, disagreement. Lighty, air signs. Ghost, figures. Spiritual, connection. I can already tell it's gonna be a long reading. Euphoria and dysphoria. And we have the blank card visiting us, as well as reunion and found family. So, without that tipping over, thank you. So immediately when I did start this reading, I was thinking of the walk I went on sometime earlier this week. And I woke up pretty early to do that. And I don't know why, I just needed to just walk for some reason. I didn't feel like going in a car. I didn't feel like dealing with anyone else. I just felt like I needed to just be alone for a while. And it's not like I'm incapable of taking walks a lot. It's just that it was a really far walk, especially when I was going to work. And it wasn't because like I didn't have a ride or anything. It was because I just felt like I needed that time alone. And I will do it again sometime, probably, but it's just the fact that a lot of the time, it's just the need to see the outside with my own eyes. And I didn't have my glasses on. You can clearly see these are literally broke as hell. So I've been treading with without glasses for the longest time. So and you could be an air sign or have air sign in your chart. Could be your moon or your rising. Just whatever fits. Uh, but I definitely feel like there's this flighty energy that it isn't in a sense of like you're being flighty, like, you know, fight or flight. It's in a sense of just leaving for good. Because when I see ghosts, I see it as something that's being left in the past. But in that same token, I'm seeing that it could be some figure that could be an ancestor, a guardian angel, whatever fits for you. And I don't think a lot of the time we like to get into the spiritual side of things when it comes to not seeing everything. And most of the time, I feel like when it comes to the system, it's like we have to see it to believe it. But most of the time, we just walk and like, I know whatever happened will happen. But I also know that I'm protected because I try my best. Even when I'm in my down moments, I try my best. And I feel like for some moments, it just hasn't been as good as you wanted it to be. But looking at the feel good card, I'm hearing this song by Nina Simone. I believe that's her name. But she's just talking about seeing the world and the world just happening and just feeling good still because everything is still going by. And the one thing that I'm hearing specifically is birds flying high. You know how I feel. So it's like your spirits is still in the high. I think this is where euphoria comes in. Um, Having this euphoric feeling that everything isn't for naught, you know? And even before I started doing this reading, seeing dysphoria, it kind of had made me think about a lot of the issues when it comes to the human body. Um, if you're not into, you know, talking about trans issues, might not be the page for you because we are trans. We do have a lot to say about it, especially when we have been silenced for having that type of thought process when we were younger. But speaking of, um, there was this thing that I was thinking about earlier of when, you know, when there's a child and the child stays, you know, in the way that they are supposed to grow up because of the authority figures that surround them. But when they deviate from the path, it's suddenly an issue. Um, and I just never understood that. Uh, and when it comes to being a trans individual, having dysphoria doesn't just stop at trans people. Another thought, when it comes to changing names, that doesn't just stop at trans people. It's not a new thing that came around because trans people started existing. It's been around, it's just been used differently than what trans people are using it as now. And I think a lot of the times we don't really want to have those talks because being different from how we were raised or told we had to be, that's the issue. It's a lot of the reasons why so many groups who are marginalized have spoke out and fought for the freedom to be who they are, and not to be stuck with who they were. And even then, we still see those prejudices against us. And it doesn't even matter, like, if you're a different skin tone or whatnot, like, you are in the same boat if you are marginalized. Not exactly in the same boat, but you're in the same current, I should say. You're in the same current, but not in the same boat. That's a good one. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, when it comes to dysphoria that's on the back of euphoria, I feel that it's kind of time to put a back burner on feeling less than what you should. When it comes to feelings of not forgiving, of not wanting to forgive, not just feeling like you're being owed something, but more so as you hurt me, so I took that personally and I'm the one who has to deal with it because you won't take the step forward. When it comes to issues like that, I've been on both spectrums of being the hurtee and the hurted. Um, and neither is fun, especially when it's like when emotions are at their peak and you haven't had a chance to just calm down and actually sit with them and they just fly sparks everywhere. It can be messy for both parties or all parties involved. In that same token, when it comes to forgiveness, I don't necessarily believe we have to forgive a person in order to move past a situation. I say that because when it comes to forgiving, you have this saying of, forgive, forget. I don't like that saying. When I think about forgiving, it's in the sense of I'm forgiving for me because I don't want to hold on to this situation. In that same token, I'm not holding you accountable because you won't even hold yourself accountable. I'm holding myself accountable to let this go and move on and do what's best for me. And even then, it's like, if you can't even hold that space to be accountable for what you do, that's on you. That's not on me. It says more about you than it says about me. You know? And sometimes we fall short on words. I think that's why hypocrisy is in the text. When it started talking about the husbands and the wife, husband is deaf and the wife is blind, I'm not really sure what that's trying to say when I think about it. It's like, if you're taking it out of the context of the labels and we're just doing feminine and masculine energy, it's kind of like how we think femininity is this energy that is just so soft and malleable and, just so giving without ever expecting anything in return. Or masculinity is this tough brood who, doesn't take shit or whatever that is. The post idea of masculinity and femininity. When we think about those labels, it's like the wife will be blind to what's going on, blind to the situation, and the husband will be deaf when it comes to actually trying to understand and listen to what is going on. And I think that says a lot, especially with people who have grown without parent figures who have been the healthiest towards them. It doesn't mean that, parents don't go through stuff in their own ways. It's just when it comes to having an offspring, you have to realize that it's not just about you and what you want. Your kid is not a cardboard cutout of you or anyone else. They're their own person. And you know what? There's this YouTuber who's a therapist, and his name is Patrick, but he really has helped me a lot when it came to understanding self and distinguishing self from parental figures. And I feel like that's something healthy that people do need to learn, distinguishing self from what they were raised as, and more so thinking, I understand how I was raised, but how do I want to navigate myself without having to do or repeating toxic cycles? And this is what I was steady staring at the ghost when I'm talking about this, and kind of moving between ghost and feel good and moment. But when it comes to ghost and the back of it, figures, I really thought of figures as, that figures, they, the term or phrase, or to coin a phrase, oh, that figures, it's like you already knew that, but it was kind of in the back burner of just not really understanding it in the moment. So there's a need for you to connect to yourself. Not even just like connection in, journaling or yoga, or just, it's just a need for you to spend time with yourself and not judge yourself for what you have went through. It's really a need for you to realize that what you have gone through, it doesn't define you as a person. How you choose to proceed in your present and current time, that is what's going to define you, There's always going to be something that kind of hits you in the face, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and you can sure as hell walk away without having to hold on to whatever baggage that was left. You don't have to keep that, You know how hoarders are when they just keep everything. And I say this because I am partially like that. Especially when I think it's just something that, like a box, I'll just keep little shit in, or I'll just put big stuff in that I just don't, have the current space for, or something like that. I don't really know. But yeah, we do carry a lot of knickknacks, or, just a lot of shit in general. And it kind of gets messy, especially when we're just looking for something specific, disorganized chaos. But anyway, back to it. It's a need for you to let that baggage go. Even if it's just lightening it by half, or like even a third or a quarter of the amount, it's a need for you to start digging through and tossing it out. And this blank page, speaking of, you have Pisces with waterworks. There's Fool right under it. I definitely think it's time for you to start with a blank slate and kind of paint that picture as you go. We all have those moments where we do something that we regret, as long as you're showing regret and remorse, not because you got caught or you just or anything like that, but actually genuinely feeling like, hey, I need to have this sit down with myself because I know what I did wasn't right, and I need to make sure I said it right. When I was younger, when it came to, well, I can't really speak on that because nothing's coming to mind, but in the recent years is younger still, because I'm older and I know better now. So when I was younger, when it came to uh, not really speaking up for myself. I've kind of had this moments to where I'm so used to silence that I'm not used to a lot of noise or just a lot of anything around, and silence is comforting because there's no outburst or nothing to just come out of the blue. There's like this inner knowing that this is my space, so I'm safe. Um, and that's what makes me feel good. But when it came to interacting with other people, I miss social cues, don't really understand how to communicate since I'm not really, um, I'm socially inept when it comes to communication. I'm working on it, but it's a process. But when it came to communication, I can tell when I've done something bad, and it really has to, it really also has been an issue when knowing I did something bad and when someone makes me feel bad, even though I've done nothing to really warrant that. I'm so used to blaming myself most of the time that that I take accountability even for the stuff that isn't at my fault. Um, so I've given myself the thought that like, hey, you can't you can't feel like you're in the right about anything. Um, and that's something that people tend to do, especially when they're not raised in a proper household that's telling them or showing them how to set boundaries with not only with others but with themselves, especially when it comes to being understanding that people make mistakes, um, and if people keep on repeating those mistakes, it has nothing to say about you. It's just that you're not supposed to be around that, you know. Um, and I think when we get to moments, there's always going to be disagreements. And I don't say love is supposed to hurt. I don't like that saying at all. Because love is not supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to leave you guessing, second guessing every moment, feeling like you're not good enough, and it's not supposed to feel like that. And you know what? I think a lot of the times it's up to the child to be mature when it comes to setting things right. It's not, I was having this thought earlier, why do I always have to be the mature one? But then I think about, what does mature mean to me? Is it always uh, having to be the one to go to the other person, even when the issue isn't, even though you're not the one at fault? Or is it actually setting things right because you know they need to be right? But it's also about the accountability thing. How do we set things right and be mature if we haven't seen anybody take accountability and we've been the only ones? And I say that in a sense of take accountability of self, because when you're a young person, you spend your whole life thinking about problems that seem big in the moment. Um, and really, it's not that they're too big, it's just the fact that you weren't taught how to process. That's again where the blind and deaf comes into play. Anyway, let's go on to tarot cards. Oh, before that, I have these. This is like something new. Actually, my mom had got me this candle set of it was just a candle set that had the chakras color coded and they had stones inside. That was for a birthday some time ago. Anyway, my memories feel like it's getting misplaced. Anyway, let's see. Let's see what card is going to be the main, well, what chakra is going to be. And we have the can I speak? The crown chakra. The crown chakra represents the ultimate goal of enlightenment, fulfillment, and self-realization. In other words, the divine self, located above the crown of the head. So, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. I'm just going to say crown. Enlightenment and inner calm. So we have 3 tarot decks. You know, the dark and divine and horror. This is actually a new deck. I had to Tarot of the Divine. I don't know why that kind of blanked for me, but it's okay. It's okay. We're getting through it. We're getting through it. Yeah. So, since you have 3 decks, whatever really comes out, I'm hoping that it's just 2 of each, but you know, whatever comes out will come out, and we'll just decipher it. I think I've had this issue before. Yeah. We've had that issue before. When I was saying issue, it's like the cards of how I do the big ones and how I do the small ones. It's weird. I don't know. It's just like doing whatever is comfortable for you. Okay. I was about to put that back in the deck, but then it just slipped out again. You have you have the 4 coins. Okay. It's like it just wanted to come out. Like, it's like, no, don't put me back in. I'm ready to come out. You have the 10 of Swords in reverse. The King of Coins in reverse. And I don't really like doing reversals for this because I like seeing the pictures upright. But I still make note that it was reversed, you know. And we have the 2 of Swords. Okay. And on the back of the deck, we have the Star in reverse. Okay. Already. Just reversals. I don't think that's a bad thing, though. I feel like I feel like that a lot of the times reversals might be seen as bad, but they're not, in really bad. It's just about the context that you are looking in, you know? I'm hearing that song. I think it's Mr. Brightside. Coming out of my cage and then I'm doing just fine. It started with a kiss. How did it end up like this? How did it end up like this? I don't know. Maybe some of y'all are in love or something. I don't know. Beyond me. Anyway, let's get some of these cards out here. Oh, we got 4 like off the rip. What the fuck? I kind of don't even want to keep. It's always this dingy ass card. I use this deck a lot. 7 of Wands in reverse. 9 of Wands in reverse. 10 of Pentacles. Wait. Yep, it's in reverse. At first I thought it was my eyes playing tricks on me, but you know. The Empress and the Hermit. Okay. In the back you have the 4 of Cups in reverse. Interesting, to say the least. So let me move these up. Because I feel like we are gonna need like a little more space for these last cards. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be like a more than 2-hour read, and I don't even know if my juice can really pump that up. I gotta pay my bill, my phone bill, you know. My phone's been taking a toll lately, but that's okay. We're still here. We're still kicking. And this is like sporadic ass deck. And hair just randomly there. Okay. Speaking of, I think the dryer has stopped. New clothes are finished. Anyway. Ooh, okay. You have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. The 6 of Cups in reverse. Interesante. Two more cards popped out the same way. You have the Knight of Swords, 6 of Swords. I'm feeling one more. Six of Pentacles, and Baphomet joins the party. And on the back you have the Sun. Been seeing a lot of shit in 3s lately. That's weird, isn't it? Probably. I don't know. So sorry. It's a lot. It's like got my hands all jiggly. The Star and the Sun. I just think it's weird that they're pointing at each other. Like, you know, I don't know why that feels weird to me. And they keep slipping off, and death is on the back. And Queen of Swords. Okay. So, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to slide these over and put the star right there. So, first thing I'm hearing is that a wish didn't come true. Oh shit, we're already at 40 minutes? Damn. I didn't think I was doing that time. Anyway, sorry. I'm trying to stay focused. Yeah. But first we have the star. And I'm getting that a wish didn't come true. And I'm not trying to be funny or anything. It's just like I'm looking at death, and it's this girl that's looking behind a curtain. Oh. Sorry. I'm back. So this girl that's looking behind a curtain, and you can see that one of the hands, like the hand is human, but there's this big skeletal figure that's like right behind, foreshadowing something. Um, and I'm getting that a sense that the wish didn't come true because it wasn't the right time, especially when I see that we end off with the Two of Swords and there was a need for a decision to be made. Um, uh, Maybe this is like three decks because I'm not getting the same message from all of them. Maybe they kind of mix together a bit, but there's not the same message, you know? I don't know. Let me continue. So, with Divine, um, I'm seeing that the Four of Coins, there's really a need that you wanted. There's something that you wanted to protect, especially when it came to financial matters. But I don't even necessarily think that it was just you wanted to keep your finances. It's just that you wanted to be financially stable, and you were holding on too much to doing whatever it takes to become that. And it kind of left you in this mode of drowning, especially when you see kind of looks like a person just got pushed overboard. It's dying with all these goddamn. And this is a Ten of Swords, and you have Ten of Pickles like on the opposite, but you're definitely striking into something. I feel when I say some of these messages mixed together, it's like certain aspects of them, but as a whole, I think there's different messages for a little bit. We'll see. We'll see. But I definitely think there was something that was kind of. Get in bed. Okay. Where was I at? Give me a moment. So yeah. I was about to say pairs of threes, but then I started. We're back here. We're back here. So the moment where it was kind of like a drowning ish feel, But we're gonna move on to the King of Coins. I'll get back to the tennis words, but we're going to the King of Coins. And because the wish, we were talking about earlier with the wish, something didn't grow. When I see the King of Coins, I see something that flourishes, especially since it's a turtle that's an island and it's growing a tree. It's kind of like in the Avatar where, you know, forgot what it was, but it was that turtle creature thing, something, but it was a whole island, and it was very old, very ancient, but there was something that didn't grow. So now you're overworked, underpaid, or something, but you had a choice to make, and this choice kind of led to unveiling something that you had to get a deeper knowledge of. And the Queen of Pentacles in reverse under that, but with the Four Cups, we're here now. The Four of Cups, stability. It's in reverse, so the lack of stability is what you're unveiling. Excuse me. The lack of stability. When it comes to stability, what do we actually think that is? Seeing as how there's 4 different sorry. See me looking away is because Charlie is messing with the hamster. So anyway, when we think about stability, it can't just be in the way of previous thinking, especially when you're trying to figure that out on your own. You're unveiling that, and no. Unveiling what stability is for you. We have 4 sweets or different elements, and we have the 4 cups. So not having that, you don't have that right now. So what can you do to make that? We're going into the 7 of Wands with the 9 of Wands. And it's funny how it kind of just skipped over the 8, 7, 8, 9. I'm corny as hell, stop. So it's kind of in this way. I knew something was off. I just knew it. Anyway, I saw the 10 of Pentacles and I was confused for a second because I knew that I seen it somewhere else before. So, yeah, you have the 10 of Pentacles twice. There was something else that happened again. So it's like repeating again, same cycle. leave her alone because she isn't messing with the cage, but just gotta be sure she keeps on trying to, and I keep putting it against the wall, but she keeps pushing it and getting behind. I'm not sure what that's about. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to it. So, stability feeling for you. I think we have lost a lot of what it is meant, what it's meant to be. I see. Come on. Anyway, back to it. Keep getting distracted with. So, I'm going to come back to these because I can't get the clear messages for them when it comes to stability, especially when it's like raising that for yourself. Because I genuinely feel like something has skipped over, or there was a moment of blankness, and that kind of led to the 10 of Pentacles. And that led to the 10 of Pentacles. And we get to the Empress and the Hermit. Two more major arcana. Or, yeah, you have 5 in all, so that's like, never seen that before. Especially with different decks. Actually, anyway. So, the mind and the heart, especially when it comes to seeing, and also physicality. So, I guess we kind of have like the, I want to say trifecta, but that means 3. I guess that is kind of 3 because the mind and sight kind of coincide together. But with the Empress and the Hermit, I feel like there was this inner need to find that not like just the feminine touch, but just like a sense of being in tune with self without feeling like there's without feeling like there's no blockage. And I feel like when it comes to honing in your heart space, it's kind of hard, especially when you weren't raised to deal with emotions, which is what a lot of masculine individuals are kind of headed, you know? So, I'm getting that you feel like it's a long shot. And that's really why you're using your mind to kind of have that sight for you. So kind of lean in on your spiritual side. And I think with this skip, it was kind of like unexpected. And I don't even think it was just like a blip. I think it was just like time just passing by quicker than expected. or building quicker than you expected. Um, Especially when you're the type of person that kind of looks in on their progress a lot, or kind of not even just looking a lot, just kind of overly check in. There was probably this moment to where you were just like, no, I can't do that. I need to just kind of chill out for a second. And it just kind of happened in a snap of a finger. That's why 8 isn't there. Because 7, 8, 9. 7, 8. Let me stop. Because 7, 8, 9. Just because 8 was already passed by the time you got to 9. um, so we get to the next step. I gotta say, like, step. And we still have the blank card facing up. So it's like you were having those building blocks implemented um, for some time. So I can also see the 7 and 9 kind of as rushing self, especially when it came to stability, specifically the money area of stability. But going to the next step, we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And it's with all these coffins. So, and there's one person like that's kind of trying to rise out, but it's in reverse. So they can't really do it if the top of the lid is, crushed down. Actually, there's two. Interesting. And you know what? You probably, I'm sorry, he just wants to. But you probably um you probably had a lot more that needed to be put to rest. And also see with the Hermit that going through this mode, you were kind of just letting go of a lot of stuff, especially when it came to putting down that arrow. You were just putting down you're putting down having to always be in this fighting sense. And I felt like it was just a breath of fresh air, just finally for once, where you were just like, okay, I'm okay for once, Just actually feeling that. But then we get around the corner and there's a lot more that needs to be done too. You have the 10 of Pentacles, let go of a lot, but you still have two more things that are haunting you. So we have the 6 of Cups, but it's in reverse. Holding on still because you don't know where to put it to rest. And we have, I think that's a gargoyle. But we have the Knight of Swords. And it's looking back towards the previous two cards. So, what are you looking at there for? It's time to move on. It's time to let go. It's time to live and let be. We can't hold on to this forever. What was that choice that you needed to make? It was a choice that you needed to move past this situation. You needed to put it to rest. And no, we don't like hearing that. No, we don't. Really? And no, we don't like hearing that. And another card popped out right under it. It was the Five of Pentacles. And right under is the Hangman. What the fuck? Um, and the Hangman is in reverse. That's very odd. But getting back to it, it's time to move past it. So when you do get past this feeling, you have the Six of Swords actually going through the mental and trying to understand it. No. Going through it. You can't keep looking back, so you have to make the choice. Either you can stay in this moment or you can move forward. So choosing to move forward, that means that switch from the Six of Swords to the Six of Pentacles. Make that quote-unquote curse abundant for you. And we have Baphomet. And you see, some of the stuff he does is in the spiritual, while other is in the physical. It's all about balance. And that's why we have the Sun here. Especially seeing how we have the Five of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. Letting yourself get unbounded. Walking away. Seeing that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's just that you have to go towards it and grasp it. So that choice you made is definitely going to be beneficial for you. I guess it all did tie together, and maybe I was just overthinking because it was just different. It probably is different energy, but you know, it kind of mixes together. So that choice you made, definitely worth it. It's just about seeing that with yourself, you know. The sun is at the end of the tunnel, so you can either choose to go to it or stay in the dark. Uncover those mysteries that you feel is within you instead of feigning ignorance, you know. I don't think people like to stay ignorant. I mean, I don't, but some people are just like that. They actually do like to stay ignorant. And I feel like the only way you can actually change is not being afraid to change. Or actually, you know, even though you're afraid, you actually still go through with the change because you know that at the end of the day, it's going to be beneficial for you. No matter how scary the challenge may seem. And we're in changing times, so problems that were in the past may not seem like the same problems we have today. It really isn't, though. And I feel like people put too much importance on how the past was and not really staying in the present of what situation is at hand. The past still haunts us, yes, but how can we change that for today? How can we change that for this, you know, I'm sorry, I'm just like looking, like, what the fuck? Sorry. Anyway, How can we use the lessons from the past to change the course of our future? And even then, not even just change the course of the future, help with the present. My dog is just like itchy as hell. Have Parasite. Fated to Suffer. I think it's because I gave him like a trim. So he's kind of just... Stop munching on your feet. Okay. Sorry, I just went in this. I don't want him to get no bacteria or nothing in his mouth. And he's really weird about that too. And actually sitting up and actually having him in my view instead of doing something else, it kind of changes the perspective. You have addicted. And you have masquerade on the back. So definitely a false identity of some kind. Not really false identity, just like kind of recording. It's like on live, so
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we have Dema, Angel of Dreams.
What dream? Word?
He don't know.
Not real?
He just got here.
Nah, you did.
Azrael, Angel of Death. Shatiel, Angel of Silence. On the back you have...
like fruit one, sweat they hold like hot. And just sweat and just sweat and sweat. I'm like, hey, all people do that, they want to go on sweat boxes, so they want to go lose weight. Like this boy help you lose weight.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't stand no heat.
I don't mind the heat as long as it's from the sun.
Me and heat don't mix. I spent the night here that night. Shit, y'all had I was sitting there laying in that damn chair right there. I was sweating my hands. I'm like, God damn. That shit had me going. The heck? Like like you know who's here or something. For real? This motherfucker crazy. He know who's here.
We know.
You know.
Chris know who's here.
Hey, I see this.
What's up, Pop?
Hey, I'm good, baby. I'm here.
Yeah, I'll be going through what you going through next. I ain't gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going.
Man, fuck you, man. I'm out there, motherfucker. I'm out the hospital. I'm straight. Hello.
Jelson.
Hey, what's up, man? I know, right? What's up, lady? Hey, you know what? You like Bone Thug Humphrey with all that hair now. Larry, you got too much goddamn hair, bro. You got more hair than a damn woman. Man, I ain't lying. This man hair down the damn thing. It's just balled up right now.
It was just in two braids. I had to take it down.
Nah, little Larry got hair down his back.
So, we have Parasite in reverse, Faded to Suffer, and Addicted in reverse.
You doing all right?
And on the back you have Masquerade in reverse.
I know you're gonna go, so I stopped the little part. I'm in my kids out right now, and they're around the corner. I stopped. Well, look at this hair. Hey, you know what? Hey, I keep telling you, you must want to be the storybook.
The storybook?
You know, hey, Miss said he know the storybook.
What?
Y'all don't know the storybook? They took y'all to school. Remember the girl stuck up inside the Rapunzel. Let down your hair, Rapunzel.
Rapunzel?
Rapunzel, yeah.
Yeah.
She had the long hair. She wouldn't let her hair down with no anybody. You
Yeah.
gotta be a certain person. It's like King Arthur, like the sword. Can't anybody go crazy. Lay down your hair. Hey, it was only one person said that she lay down her hair for.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, as I said, took this done down to the one to probably get it
Hey,
all.
boy got some damn good
Probably
hair.
get it all. She probably ship Chris with the little stuff on her tomorrow.
Man, you got some damn good hair.
I'm gonna growing that John out.
She said, fuck, just see
Right,
what you do.
Jefferson contended the Arkansas smoke. Look at him. Come look at little bro.
He said he cold. He in the cold.
Exactly. With the hoodie on. With his head on.
That
You
drinks
damn
will make you
sure
hot.
it's cold. You drinking. I'm alcoholic, baby.
So cool.
You for sure far from
Cool
cold if
outside.
you drinking. That boy shook.
Nah, that boy high.
That boy high and shook. Them folks are scared as
He high.
You
Yeah, this ain't got nothing to do with no shit. We talking about our high. This ain't got to do with no niggas in the streets. See, your area, see, that's when you know you high. You can't come through conversations. Oh, I'm gonna show y'all something. This is when you can't go through a high. I'm gonna teach y'all something.
Brief intermission. But anyway, we're back to it. So actually looking at this, I'm seeing that there's two sides to the same coin, especially seeing how Parasite is like the green and blue, the red and blue pill. And then we have the Snow White effect. And then we have Addicted. So I'm going to read from some of these. I'm probably going to read Parasite first. But I generally see that putting on a mask, and there's a need to let that mask go, especially when it comes to choosing what side you want to be. Especially when we see Faded to Suffer, it's like, do you really think that she's being given the poisonous apple? Or is that just what you were told, you know? It could be something else. It should just be a woman just giving an apple. Pause.
And mama be scared they got their time. I don't never had a pistol in my life. But you know what I do? I get high around mama, they got their pistol around.
So, what's going to happen is up to you. And when I see addicted, I think that it's more so just not letting addictions get the best of you. It's just not letting addictions get the best of you, which whatever that addiction is,
I told they punk ass, you know what?
whatever that addiction is, could be just to negative thoughts, it could be just to negative feelings, whatever that is. But it's something that you can deal without instead of letting it roll over you. Um,
And I go to the Greyhound or something. You gotta go tell their y'all still, man, some weak ass
holy
shit.
shit.
How the fuck you gonna go to a casino and you close, you can't buy alcohol after 2, 3? This ain't no casino. How is it a casino?
So,
Man, you gambling.
we're at Dumas, the Angel of Dream, Angel of Depths, a zero, as Azrael. Chatiel, the Angel of Silence. Especially when I see it below addicted, I feel like silence is more so as not speaking your mind in the ways that you should, or not feeling as though you were being heard. And when we see the Angel of Death, because I think you didn't get the death card, but it was something. Yeah, you did get the death card. So it's like when you see death, it's not more so as dying as, you know, it's more so in a sense of actually allowing yourself to release past versions that didn't feel better for you. Whatever that is for you, not even just releasing past versions, it's just releasing what doesn't serve you. And when we see the Angel of Dreams, it must be very important to pay attention to your dreams, especially when you have dreams that are nonsensical in a sense of actually moving to understand them. And the dreams kind of function as in ways to help you understand, so it might seem nonsensical, but it's not. I've had weird dreams myself. My dreams always become weird.
What?
But
What you want?
with
I know you go home, boy.
Malkuth grounded,
Still on, boy. What's up? You alright?
ground the kingdom. So
You a little active tail. No, you a little active.
there's a need for you to stay grounded and rooted within yourself. When I see the kingdom as talking about the temple of your body. And when we say the temple of your body, it's more so in a sense of staying within yourself. Nah,
He's stirring.
it's a steel cage.
He want that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Bad. So you know what? It's gonna take a while for him to get used to him. Cause the kids, he ain't gonna be able to come out and play like he want to.
Unless I get a ball.
No, the kids, she gotta have in the bowl. But it's the kids, she gotta get used to that. Cause she gotta understand and give her out. No, he's not to eat.
Yeah, that's why I keep spraying her.
Like,
That's why I spray her.
Keep her out of him.
Yep. Every time I raise the bottle, she knows not to get near.
Cause she's stirring, she like, man, they look like some good eating. She done ate some rats.
Yep, she killed one and brought it here.
Yep.
Killed the bird and brought it here.
Oh, look. What's up, man? Hey, man. He's flying in that junk. Damn, look at your legs. He like this shit. He got his own little home.
Yep.
So you got 3 pets now?
Actually, that's Adri's.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, man? Hi. What's up? Hey. Hey, what's up? Why you starting to miss? I'm the one trying to get your attention. I'm trying to get your attention. Hey, what's up? Hey.
I don't need a shit.
Damn, the boy legs moving. Woo! Cat, you sure you can catch that motherfucker? I don't know, man. You gonna catch hell trying to catch that motherfucker if it ever come out of the cage.
Yeah, she hyperactive in the mud.
That motherfucker got some legs on that motherfucker.
Why he in the house? Like, that's your point.
That was I get my exercise.
You just need to ride
Got his own little home sitting back just chilling.
You been carrying your shit up out of here.
So 19 parasite, moon phase, waxing crescent, stage depression. When the only answer to lack of self-efficiency is to cling to another one. A long-haired man with a pale face, heavy eyelids, a dull gold chain drapes over his forehead, around his body, and through his body. A poisonous ivy grows and clings subtly to him. Sentence: we can't survive alone. What can't survive alone will seek company, but instead of growing together, they will wither together. Relationships are not a zero-sum game. Of course, using each other is part of the game, but it's quite different when use take the shape of supporting rather than manipulating or exploiting. In the long run, a good relationship is a win-win, where more I give, the more I get, and the other way around. Still, it's not always like this, isn't it? Not just in bad relationships. In the short run, bad is bound to happen even in the house of true love. We cling, we bite, we hunger for safety and freedom and support. And on the other side, we get mangled, bitten, demanded on. Well, it happens. It happened. And it will happen again. It is part of the game. But if it happens too often, it creates a toxic environment. It doesn't matter if we are the victim or the perpetrator, as poison is shared equally. One gets the pain, another gets the advantage, but the toxic part, they get both. Fully. A parasite, a leech, kills itself as much as it kills the host. It sacrifices the journey to destination rather than destination to its own failures. The problem is not living as sheep, but the true problem is living as sheep for 100 years. And 11, addicted. Addicted, moon phase, waxing crescent, stage depression. It's not about choosing the chains, it's about choosing them again and again. Visual seed, white sparkling hair over scarred, melted down cast face. Its hand is melting or already gone. The chains choke around his neck, and many spikes pierce through the back. Freedom was the worst of lies. I could have been a slaver or a slave, but I chose the latter. Addicted to something, to drugs, to love, to company, to evil, to pain, to safety, to making simply everything that can be deep. Oh, they have in common the feeling of being lost. If we ever are without it. Freedom is not a friend, as it promises responsibility, failures, challenges. Freedom can be taken, can be broken, can be stripped naked and away at the beginning. How can they take it from you? So how can it be easy to believe that freedom is an illusion? So on the other hand, it feels like... So, how can it be easy to believe that freedom is an illusion? And it's so hard that slavery is an illusion as well. That the sky has a limit, but the chains have one as well. The irony of it all. When we lose the desire, much before losing will to fight, is that actually the irony of all, when we lose the desire much before losing the will to fight, is that actually is possible to reach for the sky even when bound by chains. Like I said, we are letting go of what does not serve us. Anger and chains. Literally just talking about chains. I know it's hard to release anger. It's hard to release a lot of stuff that we feel bounded to. Especially when you know that a lot of what happens. Rumph, Angel of Time. I think that's the first time I've seen that. But giving the context, I feel that death is not just telling us to get over something. It's just telling us that we need to have that time and space to allow ourselves to let go. So let's look for it. Angel of Silence. Before we do that, we will go to the kingdom. And I believe the kingdom, yes, the kingdom is the last one. When it comes to the body and the roots, all that jazz. Or the tree of life, you know. So we have the 10th and final emanation. The physical world in which we live, the domain of mankind. Malkuth is an emanation of emanation. Had to do that because she kept on messing with Cece. And Cece is literally like just petrified as hell. But anyway, let's get back to it. Malkuth is an emanation of emanations, the emanation of the aspects that form the tree of life. Everything from our bodies to our experiences, we have them in the world in which we exist is Malkuth. The infinite space that expands across the universe is a manifestation of her. The boundless prismatic orb that holds all the colors of the universe. At the feet of the tree is the ground, stretches forward, forming a base. This is the space where Malkuth exists. She is beyond just being the lowest point, she is the foundation itself. Being the thing that we experience every moment in our lives, Malkuth contrasts clearly with Keter, whose existence is marked by the total unknowability. As with all things in the tree, one mirrors the other, forming a complete continuation through which we can understand the boundaries of existence. Found in the earth, our bodies, and home. And we'll go to Azrael. Or actually, I feel like dreams. Duma. Descent to the unknown. Duma is impetuous to doubt and false reality. To crack the shell, keeping you from the truth. When the world shifts around you, Duma is your guide. The world is stranger than you believe. What we all dream, we dream together. Those dreams pull together in Dumas' cupped hands. Look below the surface of the water. You know you've missed something, yet you wonder what. You listen closely, and yet you hear nothing. All the while you dream the truth you think you seek. It is said that Dumas and Lille are connected. The truth can be found within an angelion. Signs, a reflection in water, a gold cage, an eye.
Got some chicken burritos. Got some chicken burritos today and just chill. We was at the park today. Me and her eating chicken burritos and stuff, just drinking and kicking shit at the park today.
Yeah.
That did out the way. We just rolled around, kick shit. Went to the house chilling. Mama, her mama be still with the shit, so. Well, why you take it to the house? Fuck you mean, nigga? I don't want to say it. I just said, I don't say nothing. I told baby, that's like, what your mama talking about? You got all, man, how much, man, you know how much, you know how much her clothes cost?
Angel
You don't
Knight,
know.
that's who she is.
You don't know.
I couldn't remember, but
Dre don't know.
I seen her before.
Missy, no. Miss. Baby got some motherfucking high price ass clothes on. Man, she got some boots in that motherfucker. Also, nigga, she got so much clothes in there. She got way more clothes than me. So, mom, she already know she at the home. She's straight. She just getting herself together. See, we went and ate lunch at the park, kick shit at the Breeze Hill. Soon I got out. And shit, we went to the house, kick shit. We went back to the house, went and caught her mom, rode around, took her back to the house. Yeah, I just left Westwood. The other part was, matter of fact, who used to watch out, Bud and them, Miss Irvin.
Yeah, I remember.
That was Miss Irvin, her birthday was today, so I went to see her.
Okay.
And then now too, I left there, came right here, so now I made it to the house. And I did, she chill and see this bitch bring put my medication at the Walgreens, so I'm gonna go up there in the morning, see if they got my prescription. Take my prescription tomorrow.
What type of prescription is it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want to take my little drink now.
Too many.
Yeah, get it out the way. Get back to my.
I just need two, that's all.
I'm not worried about that shit.
Oop.
Man, you. I'm not still
Or
worried
three.
about it. Get what? Y'all
Oh,
trying
no,
to push me when I
14.
get out there because I'm trying to go pay my bill. Shit,
So
my
we have
bank
Petro
card, everything,
Cup.
sitting out and sitting in the park, Rob. I was sitting in the hospital. So you know what I did? You got a ride gonna come pick you up.
Wunho or Wunjo Joy.
My keys in my pocket. I told y'all thought I was playing. I said, nigga,
Ride
I'm
home,
y'all
Will.
you know I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna drive off.
And
You
Isa
ain't gonna see what
Ice.
car we jump in. And we go. Jump in my truck and get the rain.
On the back we have Gibo,
Switch my shit
Zibo,
over there, man. I just go and finish up now.
Gift.
See,
So
in case you
already
know,
I'm
I
seeing
ain't
the
an insurance
picture,
card. This when they start
especially
getting
when it
rough.
comes to the rooms.
They want to keep running my insurance card up. Instead of coming trying to go and tell me what's going on so I can go get back to work. They trying to hold me up from getting to work or trying to pay bills. I'm like, nah, well, I ain't for that. Nope. go to the house, that nigga, I ain't caught. Shit, literally. Fuck this shit, I'm still here. I ain't talking about nothing.
Okay. So it's already clear when I see how this is. I feel like you're gaining a lot of knowledge.
Take care of my mom.
And also there's going to be something where you're going out to gatherings of some kind, or maybe it's just like a party with yourself. But I see this is the same person. This is literally the same person, but in a different dress color. But she just left somewhere, and now they literally flipped the backgrounds with the dress patterns too. It seems like the same person. Maybe it isn't. But I'm seeing that you're going somewhere. You're definitely going somewhere though. It probably is out of state, or maybe you're visiting somewhere for someone. But I definitely see there's a connection of some kind heading into your path. And what we have for the moon cards is Moon in Taurus. Now is a time for focusing on your finances and practical matters. New Moon. The time is ripe for seeking new opportunities. And half to full moon, embracing high levels of motivation will bring feelings of empowerment and satisfaction. Moon in Leo. It is an important time to guard against being self-centered, over-opinionated, or pushy. Choose your battles. Moon in Sagittarius. That's wild. So prepare to be adaptable as plans may have laid, as you have laid. Be prepared to be adaptable as plans you have laid may take an unexpected course. But you're definitely going somewhere.
He need to be in a situation where he gonna have to have his son because she don't get it.
Today I am kind.
Something gonna happen. He gotta go to the doctor. Long as he ain't around him and he with her, that baby gonna come up with some of that soup and weed soup. They been DA, that's gonna come to the house.
So for your information, today I will see the possibilities. Today anything is possible. My heart is open to any and all possibilities. Today I am energetic. Today I am filled with an incredible, energetic, and enthusiasm to face this beautiful day. Today I am kind. Today I will make this day count. I will do something kind for someone. Today I will look ahead. Today I will see my future. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful life I am looking forward to. Today I am powerful. Today I know that I have the power and wisdom to accomplish anything I choose to do. And on the back of the moon deck, you have Moon in Pisces. Beware of indulging in negative or depressive tendencies. So if you know that you get really negative in dark rooms, turn on a light. That's why I got a light. Not only because I need to see this, but also because when I'm in dark rooms, I just don't really like it, you know? So, actually, before I go out, there's something I want to read from here. And I'll actually pull like a few more cards because I feel like, yeah. Um, so I'm gonna read Raido and Isa. Isa? However you put it. So Raido 54. So Raido will. You have themes: time, travel, movement, and inner journey. Raido is a room that goes places. It can signify a literal journey or an inner metaphorical one. When Raido appears in a reading, it can be a nice thumbs up from the universe that you're on the right path and an encouragement to keep going, even when the road gets bumpy. It is also a reminder to stay present and enjoy the journey, which just might be just as rewarding as the destination. See, I've been talking about that, but you know, let's go on. Righto, new paths, new experiences, and new ideas. In the moments of doubt, you may feel that it's easier to stay put where everything is safe and familiar. But sometimes you need to be brave. Stop worrying about what others think and just go for it. Righto also relates to the wheel, which reminds us that life is about cycles of change. This rune may pop up when you're in translation from one stage of life to another, such as changing jobs or moving houses. Remember that change is what keeps that wheel turning, so you can keep growing and evolving. And where is Isa? 66. Oh, just popped right on there. Isa, okay. Okay. Ice. Frozen. Plans on hold. Stillness. Frustration. Associated with ice, Isa is an indication that something is blocked or frozen. A project may have ground to a halt. Negotiations. Neg- negotiations. Negotiations. Negotiations may have stalled, or you may have emotionally or you may be emotionally or energetically stuck. Isa is not asking you to fight it. This is a time to be still and patient. Save your energy because moving forward is just not possible right now. Make like a glacier and take things slowly. While Isa can be point to frustration or and discomfort, this period of stillness may end up being like a blessing in disguise. Now that I think about it, it looks like I didn't see the will at first. So it's kind of like you went somewhere, but then you kind of had a moment to where you fell behind. Yeah, okay, I see it now. Maybe it's because I can't see because it's like dark, but anyway. While Isa can be frustration and discomfort, this period of stillness may end up being blessing in disguise. Stepping back from change your perspective. Stepping back may change your perspective, cooling off a previously heated situation. If your reading is about a relationship, Isa can point to one that's entering a frosty period with distant communication or cooled affections. Again, this is not the time for hasty words or actions. Take some time to reflect on this connection and decide if you're willing to put in the energy it would take to defrost relations, or if you want to let this one float by. Don't forget that ice can also act as a preservative. Issa may be showing you that there is something in your life that needs your attention, a bit of rest and repair, in order to ensure its longevity. Okay. So, I did not see him behind me. That scared me for a minute. So, let's get back to it. So this part came out again, binging and feel good. I don't think I actually went into depth with both of them at the same time. I think I just kind of forgot. And I was stuck on the feel good. You have survive, supplies, live, love, laugh, and any variation of that. Tunnel and tunnel vision, grinding or grinding. I have so many goddamn typos of just... Anyway, grinded or grinded tea. You have material. You get one more. We have Taurus and Prosper. So, and on the back you have Shoot Your Shot and Challenge. Gemini. Fire signs are also relevant. Crying spells and crying. So, this is going to be the end of the reading because, yeah, I'm like way over. I don't even know how much that is. Holy shit. I feel like this is the longest reading I've ever done. Aside from doing like pick-a cards, but this is like the longest one. Focus back to it. But binging, grinding teeth, material, and Taurus. Live, love, laugh for any variation of it. There's a need for you. Oh, Sagittarius. So fire, water, and earth. Fire, air, and earth are the most prevalent energies right now. And I think in order for you to feel better about the current situations or whatever it is, I've actually read a quote in my book earlier that was about being content. If you can't be content with where you're at right now, then how can you expect to be content in where you're going, you know? And it's just about feeling satisfied with where you're... It's just about currently just feeling satisfied with what you're doing right now. And I think we focus too much on one plane of the existence instead of focusing on all that really brings us as feeling whole, you know, as Malkuth. So, let it go is right under there. You have distrust, Ophelia. Again, we've talked about Ophelia before. So, Ophelia is a girl that's from Hamlet who was forced to get married. But not only that, she died because she was drowning in her own tears, her own fears. She was really given very little in a sense of her importance of her mental health and whatnot. But she was driven mad and cut out of life. But the moral of that story is just that you shouldn't let what is around you interrupt your personhood. And I feel like if you really feel like something just isn't meant for you, then it's just time to let it go and find your own path to just move forward. Especially when you know that something is draining or not giving you the nourishment that you need. Uh, and grinding teeth, I feel like that's more so just a lean towards anxiety, and sometimes it can be just unconsciously doing it. But anytime you feel like your jaw is clenched, just unclench it. So, thank you all for watching. And I appreciate you for being patient. Uh, I will try to do more readings, but it's more so of just having the message and being in the right time, and you know what I mean. So, thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day or night, you know. Anyway, I'll see you.